Hello my friends, I'm back! It has been a long time since I have made a YouTube video and I am a little bit out of practice. I apologize for my hiatus, but this video will explain everything, so let's get started. I keep it real. I'm all about transparency and authenticity here on this channel. So as I tell you what life has been like for me the past few months, I will be styling my hair. I just washed it and it's just not doing what I want it to do. All right, so first off, I just want to thank all of the people who emailed me, who DM'd me, who messaged me, checking on me to see if I'm doing okay, asking when my YouTube hiatus will be over. Sometimes I forget that I have a following of amazing people who genuinely are interested in my little life, and when I go MIA, it's a bit strange because I have been going through it and not ashamed to admit it. I think it's about time that I admit it publicly to help me move through and work through all of the ish that I've been dealing with. So it's not like anything extreme or like traumatic has happened to me. I haven't been in any accidents or had any health issues. I've just been depressed. My mind has just been filled with nothing but like negative self-talk and criticism, and I have not been showing any kindness to myself or gratitude. And I say I'm depressed, but mind you, all of this is self-diagnosed. I have yet to see a doctor about this or take medication. I just know me and I know myself, and the symptoms that I'm feeling are very similar to the symptoms of depression that I felt before. So let's just call a spade a spade. And yeah, that's a big reason why I needed to take a YouTube break. Just about a few weeks ago, I found an in-person therapist here in Chengdu. Can't believe it. It's definitely not a super common thing in China. And one of the reasons I wanted to talk to someone IRL, face-to-face, is because I had such high expectations for myself and my life here that when they didn't start working out, I got very down on myself. Like, why can't I hack this? Why can't I make this work? I make everything work. I felt then, and I still have feelings of just doubt, and that I made a stupid, irrational decision by taking such a big risk that now is not really paying off in the way that I wanted it to. Like, no one wants to move to a new city and then get depressed. So yeah, just really been questioning a lot of what am I doing with my life? How long am I going to continue to live and be unhappy? And allow me to clarify, we're gonna put some chapters up in this video. There are a few big events, issues that I've been dealing with since moving to Chengdu that I want to explain. So let's get right into the first one. So one of the first negative experiences or just feelings that I was having in Chengdu was like extreme loneliness. Loneliness comes in many different forms. Like the big one was just like societal loneliness, being lonely as a person in a new place and not knowing anything and not knowing anyone feels extremely alone. And that's a feeling that I hadn't felt in a really long time, and I just forgot how intense that feeling of loneliness is, where you can be in one of the world's biggest cities and still feel so unseen. So I think right away I was trying really hard to make friends. And I definitely did. But things really started to take a negative turn when I met a girl who quickly became like my new bestie. Long story short, the friendship ended very sourly because she basically got way too attached too fast and developed some romantic feelings for me, and I was very desperate to make friends, so there were a lot of yellow flags that I saw, but unfortunately let them slide. But things went wrong when this girl invited me on a trip before I could actually confirm anything, as in tell her, yes girl, I'm going. She had planned and booked the whole thing and hadn't communicated any of this. So when we finally had the chance to talk about it, she was like extremely sad and extremely disappointed, which felt very unwarranted because I never communicated to her that I was actually going on this trip with her. So that was weird. After that, a few weeks passed, I ended up seeing her at a party and she got way too touchy-feely and I had to defend myself and she got pissed. Needless to say, we never spoke again. And it sucked because in the beginning there was so much potential to be good friends and I'd never really experienced like extreme kind of like attachment issues like that, and it made me so uncomfortable and so angry. Yeah, so after that situation happened, I definitely was not that desperate to make new friends and was not putting myself out there or going to the places to meet new people, because why should I when people are shitty like that? But kind of around that same time, I ended up making a actual friend, a real wonderful friend, a girl who was also new to Chengdu. We had a really strong friendship, but she was working at a crazy, unstable school. After her first semester, which ended in January, she quit and she moved to a new city. So she's no longer in Chengdu and we can no longer hang out. So I'm back to not having any female friends in this city. Ugh, doesn't feel great to say out loud, but I do have a lot of male friends who are nice to hang out with. But yeah, kind of after those two things, it is definitely put a damper on my attitude towards meeting people and making friends. Not to mention that two of my best China friends have left in the last year. You guys already know that Jess has been gone. It's been a year now. I guess it's gotten a little easier, but we talk like every 3 days and I miss Jess so fucking much. And then in November, John from John Thomas Abroad left China, and before he left, he and Lauren both came to Chengdu for the weekend and we had a very fun-filled time. I did vlog that weekend, but like I never put it up because I was just sad, and I'm still sad because life is just very different when you lose your support system and you start all over again. And it's hard, and not everybody is cut out for it. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm cut out for it. Maybe with all of this loss, what I need is familiarity, which is Beijing. Anyway, let's go on to the next thing that's got me in my feelings, frustrated, sad, and unhappy. A lot of my current frustrations are coming from my job. First off, it's a lot of work, and that is a stupid thing to complain about. Like, it's a job. Of course it's a lot of work, and that there are millions of teaching jobs in China where you don't need to do the amount of work that I'm doing. But of course, I signed up for this. I knew that I would be coming in and starting the drama program and making the whole curriculum and being in charge of a lot of things. So I knew it was gonna be a lot of work. The other thing about work that has been so stressful, that is thankfully now over, is how cold it has been at that school, and the fact that we have central air conditioning and heating, but they won't let us turn it on. So a little bit of backstory: in the south of China, there is no centralized heat. You can Google why that is. To be in a concrete building with no insulation, because the building is so old, also built in the 1900s with no insulation, to be in that building, for them to have the Southern Chinese mindset that they need fresh air and they got all the windows open, and outside it's like 15 degrees out and the students' hands are shivering as they take notes, and I got on 75 layers, hat, gloves, 2 winter coats, and I'm struggling to just think correctly because I'm freezing. It's inhumane. It's barbaric. It's preventable. It is literally insane. And this is like the most extreme culture shock that I have ever felt in China, is living in the south of China and people not turning on the heat. And that not being an issue to anyone but me. I mean, here in Chengdu, all winter long, every single door to every single restaurant, convenience store, shop was just open. And it's freezing out. Obviously, local people have acclimatized to the weather. They are used to many, many winters like this. So their body reacts very differently than my body does. So just even putting on like multiple layers was not keeping me warm. Even buying, you know, heated socks and gloves and carrying a hot water bottle and the heat packs around with me, like I was still freezing. So on top of being cold, also, it's just so damn gray here. I never understood how real seasonal depression or seasonal affective disorder was until moving here. And month 2 of gray skies, then month 4 of gray skies, and now here we are today in April and it's still a gray sky. I'm just like, I'm not really believing that this is the happiest city in China, because how can you be happy when the sky looks like this all the time? It's a lot. It is a lot to deal with when you already are stressed at work and you already don't have any friends, and now it's cold and gray and you're just like, what am I doing here? Okay, I had to come and look in the mirror to do the front of my head. The final thing that I'm dealing with my job is the very kind of classic Chinese company strategy where they tell you last minute something that you are obligated to do, but they never told you when they first hired you. Then they just try to force you to do it anyway and then try to say that it's in your contract, even though it's not. So basically a few weeks ago, my head teacher decided to tell me that I was obligated to teach a 3-week summer program in August. My response was that you never told me, which they did not, and it is not written in the contract, which it is not, and I already have plans the whole month of August because your girl is going back to America and I'm hosting a group trip that is happening in August. I already got people booked and paid and everything. What do you think, I'm just gonna cancel this so I can teach a summer school that I'm not getting paid extra for? No. So that whole situation stressed me right out, and it was like no one was giving me any answers as to what was gonna happen or who was gonna be now responsible for teaching that. It just kind of fizzled out. During the hiring process, right, when you're hiring someone for a new job, it's pretty important to tell them what all of their requirements. And they just said, oh, there's 2 parent meetings per semester. You'll also be responsible for a club once a week that you can change each semester. And that's it. There was no mention of even a potential summer school program. I mean, honestly, one of the best things about being a teacher in this country is having paid summer and winter breaks. And I would have not accepted this job if I knew that my summer break was going to be cut short by 3 weeks. So far we've talked about how I ain't got no friends. I really dislike my job. I should say that I really love my students. My students have been the saving grace, been my motivation to keep doing a good job. But all of that to be said is that now that I'm here in this new place and I've been going through the things, I'm just trying to get back to this version of me that had a very clear goal and mindset in 2019, and that was to get out of teaching. Literally plain and simple. But it's like I have been through so much instability and craziness and just stress since I first moved here that now finally, when I am in a space where I'm completely by myself, it all, comes rushing back like a meteor shower, and I'm just drowning and I don't know what to do next and how to proceed. Plus, I'm just really unmotivated because of all of these things going on in my life. But here's the thing. What else am I good at? Making content? I don't want to do that full time because I just took a 2-month break. And I couldn't be able to take a 2-month break if I had to rely on making content full time. Also, I'm just not the type of person who would be good at being my own boss. I need some type of employment structure. What I can see myself doing is doing content part-time, but having a stable income to fall back on. So I have a few options. Non-teaching jobs are not impossible to find in China. Then if I'm gonna do a non-teaching job, like shouldn't I just go back home or move to another country and do that where there's more opportunity? I don't know. Yes, I guess, maybe. It's just like, there's so much for me to think about and consider that it becomes blinding and makes me feel very immobile because I have so many thoughts in my mind. I can't make a decision, so let me just do what I know, which is teaching, which is probably what has subconsciously gotten me into the situation that I'm in and I don't want to do. Yeah, so I just have a lot to think about, to plan, you know, to manifest, to pray about, all of the things all of the time. You know, when you're an adult, especially an over 30 single woman, there's just a lot of things that you need to consider. And I'm not even talking about the clock tickety ticking, because of course I think about that, but who am I having a baby with? I may be in good spirits now and may not have the attitude of someone who is traditionally depressed. Don't let that fool you. I am making this video for transparency, for authenticity. I am making this video for myself and for all of you guys who are struggling with the same things. Whether it's in your home country, whether you live abroad, whether you're a single Black woman like me just trying to figure it out in the world, you're not alone. I understand. So if you feel like sharing your story in the comments or in my Instagram DM, I welcome it. What I do not welcome is like unsolicited advice about what I should do with my life. Because if I don't know, then you definitely don't know, because you don't know me. You just know a portion of me. But I appreciate you nonetheless. I think that it's really important for me to stay true to myself here on the internet, because as China has opened its borders in 2023 and more tourists and students and teachers and workers and people are coming to this country and making content about this country, a lot of it is about boring shit, and a lot of it is fake, and a lot of it is inauthentic, and a lot of it is not real, especially the stuff that's blowing up. I mean, the amount of new influencers, content creators who have been in my DMs just saying the most ridiculous shit about their life in China and how they had no idea it was like this, but then make content that doesn't show the reality is astounding to me. So I'm just trying to be that reliable source of truth, my truth, and the truth of the things that happen in this place. I have so many just raw, honest, like this is life living here videos where I'm just telling y'all like it is, because I feel like that's all I can do and that's what I want to do. So like I said, in the sea of misinformation about this place and what happens here, especially for people from my country who look like me, yeah, I would like to be a little just like corner of truth. Anyway, I haven't even finished my hair. I have the whole back to twist. I don't think that I am good at like trying to talk and do my hair at the same damn time. I probably will be finished in 10 minutes, but what I want to do right now is blast Cowboy Carter, Giddy Up, Yippee-Ki-Yay, and finish my hair and then go out to eat. Cause I'm hungry and I'm in the mood for like some Korean barbecue. Cute, right? Well, now my hair is finished, so that means that the video is finished. Thank you all so much for remembering little old me after my 2-month long YouTube hiatus. But your girl is back, and you can expect regular weekly Sunday uploads from me. As always, I thank you all so much for your incredible love and support. The community that I have built here on social media has been incredible. My China trip to Beijing and Xi'an is officially happening. I have 10 incredible travelers who will be joining me here in China as I take them to all of my favorite places in Beijing. We visit Xi'an together for 7 days. It's gonna be incredible. If you are interested in joining my trip, there's still a few spots left, and you can hit the link in the description below. Yada, yada, yada. Send me an email, a DM if you have questions. And wow, I haven't said this in a while. How does it go? Do I say you know what it is, Aleese Lightyear? Over and out? Or do I say as always? Okay, well, I don't really know what I am supposed to say now, except for Aleese Lightyear over and out. She's back, y'all.